we issued a press statement on the 22nd of July saying we are not going to be part of this end hunger protest. On the 23rd, when somebody mischievously put out there that we had pulled out of the protest, we issued a second press statement saying we could not have pulled out from something we are not part of. All that to let the parties involved in the protest, both the anti and both the pro and the anti, that we are not part of this process, of this protest. In spite of this, government came raiding the headquarters of NLC. It was an act of grievous provocation. And I want to tell you this, not even the time of military dictators did anybody raid the premises of Nigerian Labour Congress. That's why we describe it a discretion. And if democratically, the so-called democratically elected leaders are doing this, what moral justification do we have to condemn the past military leaders? They should go and apologize to them. Our security staff was on duty here. Our security staff was on duty. As by the rules, there is only somebody here 24 hours. He was harassed, bundled, hounded, after a while, taken around, including to the second floor. For goodness sake, if the police, by the use of their sophisticated technological equipment, were able to trace an international terrorist, quote, I always say, quote, to Labour House, to the second floor, what brought them to the 10th floor? I want to tell you, we occupy at least 3 floors here, including the 10th, 2nd, and 1st floors. So what took the police to the 10th floor? And I want to reaffirm to you here, there and then, that you have executives of the Nigerian Labour Congress on the 2nd floor. It is not only the bookshop that is there. And as part of the process of further explanation, if you know of an international terrorist, or of a terrorist, whether a provincial one or a local one or international one, you know where that terrorist is. Is it not incumbent upon you to go there when the person is likely to be around? That terrorist, except the terrorist lives in this building, and there are no residentials here. Secondly, a bookshop is a public place. You could stroll in any time. You could stroll in incognito. Say you want to buy this, you want to buy that. On the basis of that, you could spring your operation. That way, you not only have your quarry, you possibly have the seditious literature or publications that you're after. Why would the police wait until the hours of darkness? And why would they come? Even the occupants were the ones who stayed late, but on that very day, we had left. So, what were they after? So, these their explanations, in our humble view, are afterthoughts and unjustifiable, and they make us Nigerians look stupid. These are people we have spent money training. What has happened to their years of experience? An operation as simple as that. Go after, at least they say, one person. Go after one single quarry, one person. First, you came with about 7 truckloads. And you couldn't even arrest that fly. You couldn't pick. So all of that, to arrest one person. And then let me also explain to you. Nigerian Labour Congress, nobody no organization, no individual can be more patriotic than the Nigerian Labour Congress. The integrity, the sovereignty, and the unity of this country, our primary concerns. I tell you this, if there is anything that constitutes a threat to this country in any part of it, Nigerian Labour Congress will not be associated with such an act or such a person. It should have been obvious to our security personnel that our interest in this country, our concern for the sovereignty, for the national interest, is not governed by salaries or allowances or their bogus budgets, but by patriotism. We don't do it for wages. We do it as a way of life. So nobody should lecture us on threats to this country. There is a lot of honor and dignity in saying I'm sorry when you are wrong. In light of this, we would advise the federal government and the Nigerian police and those who came with them to summon the requisite courage to say we are sorry. In the event they do not do so, there are options open to us. And we're at liberty to use any of them, including withholding our services, because we are entitled to protection, to safe and peaceful occupancy of this building, free from threat from anyone, least of all the state. Note, it is also within our right to internationalize this problem. I'll leave it at that. But take note, this is not good public relations for this country. People are laughing at us. Ordinary people on the street speaking on the radio try to draw a comparison between what happened here in Nigeria and what happened in Kenya. How the president of Kenya was manly enough, came out to say, I made a mistake. I have done you wrong. There are three options. Either impeach me or do this or do that or do that. He apologized. But we're in Nigeria where leaderships believe they are infallible. They deify themselves and sit in judgment over the rest of the entities. But I tell you, they can't be God. They can't be the supreme God. In furtherance of the hybrid war. A hybrid war is a comprehensive war. They are hitting you from here. They are hitting you from here. I just mentioned to you the letter written by the Register of Trade Unions, relying on Section 15 of the Trade Unions Act, threatening us that what is our relationship with Labour Party and so on and so forth. But as I said, anyway, this is not a courtroom. At the appropriate time, we will have a response for him. And then I also mentioned to you government's vicious attempt now to trample on the freedom of the trade unions. And the law is evidently clear that the trade unions should be allowed to run as separate entities free from interference. Okay? So, they do not have any right, government does not have any right to determine what the tenure of union leaders should be. Okay? So when you look at all of this happening together, at the same time, you know, the letter from the Register of the Trade Unions came either 2 days before this protest or a day. Okay? And this issue of tenure that has reared its head, it's all part of the calculated attempt to emasculate organized labor, to suppress lawful dissent. And I tell you, it is not only here that are doing it, it is not only space that are doing it, but it is more manifest against labor because labor is the biggest and the most vocal pan-Nigerian organization. And I tell you, we will not be intimidated. You will recall in our communique of 10th August 2024, among other commitments we made, we said we are going to do a forensic audit or assessment of our violated environment. In the era of advanced technology, an invader could plant anything. They could plant bugs, they could plant IEDs, they could cause other acts of mischief. So in our view, we felt, no, we are going to ask our staff to stay away from this place. And we did ask staff to stay away. We say we're going to carry out an audit, a forensic audit. And I want to tell you, I want to assure you, we have done our best. Our findings remain secret to us.
Have you resumed work now?
Yes, we resume after our findings. We have our findings documented. They remain secret to us. And we have also taken certain proactive and protective measures as well. New executive is electricity union. The name of the executive who was arrested by security personnel is Opalwa Eleojo. Yes. He was arrested at a social spot outside the premises of the Congress. He was arrested here in Abuja, and we demand for his immediate release, unconditional release. He did nothing. Congress, in fact, even when people try to draw Congress in unwittingly, Congress refused to be part of this of the end hunger protest. So why would we pick our executive?